they were pretty good wins. They played reasonably well, and those wins can be very good for your morale. Ground Zero looked a lot better in Game 1 today than they did in the previous series.
This is true. Now, Runes, nothing too surprising. Pretty much the same stuff we've seen all split long. So, not a whole lot to really discuss in that regard.
Yeah.
See, early pressure, DFM finding themselves that nice ward there onto the Raptor pit, so they will know whether or not Lava starts there or elsewhere around his jungle.
Yeah, and as the Sejuani gets some levels, and the Taliyah as well, they have so much kill pressure in their side lanes. Sejuani Nautilus, Sejuani Jax. If Arya and Steel can get priority in the mid lane and rotate to either of these side lanes, it's going to be a lot of pressure onto J-Team. They at least have the Tahm Kench in the bottom lane. But Aatrox might be in trouble, though I'd still be surprised to see them focusing on Ray Farkey's lane. They just almost never do it, from what I've seen anyway. This is not the usual champ we see him on, though.
For sure. Bit of a fist fight down in bot, it seems. Should be favouring DFM. Level 1 Smolder. Not really all that pressuring. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. Don't expect for there to be much until these junglers have finished their first clear. They can get onto the map. Honestly, all lanes are gankable for both sides, so...
Yeah.
Obviously, Minji a little bit hard to gank with that movement speed coming through from the W, and same can be said about Arya on the Taliyah. Maybe if you can pop flash, you can look for something a little bit later. Arya's actually getting very, very aggressive into the jungle of Lava.
Yeah, I think Lava managed to pick up all the CS there, though. So he should be okay. Just Arya being annoying, and this Volibear Ahri combo can be very scary, right? If the Volibear lands the stun on Taliyah ever, you're going to be able to follow up with a charm, and she's certainly dead.
Yeah.
Does Volibear's charge count as a mini dash? I think it actually does, because we saw Poppy into Volibear canceling his stun.
Yeah, I think a lot of abilities like the Volibear Q, the Garen Q, they count as a dash.
We might be seeing how that interacts with the Taliyah Shattered Earth. Might be able to shut down, the point-and-click stun hook.
Well, hook lands on Den, so they're going to get a good trade for themselves. Grey health is there, so we'll be able to heal up a little bit of it, but...
Yeah, he is so low now, but Steel not in the neighborhood. He has actually pathed to the top lane. As Ray Farkey's going to proxy a wave. Lakai looks probably too healthy to dive for this Jax Sejuani duo. And Arya's not at the point where he's going to be able to be running out of this lane. Not on this mana either. Good trade, though. Lava's going to show up in the top side, and just too late to contest that crab out of Steel. Hook
Should
again.
be answered by the bot side, though, as heavy trade once again on Denso on this time Kench. Harp now is out of mana, and Chi-Chi doing a pretty good job of stacking back in these fights. In fact, Abyssal Voyage will land onto Harp. It's going to force out the flash of Udapon as well. And so not really any kill pressure, but certainly forcing out summoners this early feels pretty good as the Smolder lane.
Yeah, and Lava, with how aggressive DFM were being, maybe could have looked for something bot instead of running up to that crab. Does get a recall off now, will reset to his top side.
Steel in the vicinity, this is really dangerous.
Oh, wow. That was terrifying. Very close to getting hooked there. Not a lot of damage to follow up, but he might have lost a summoner.
For sure. Looks like a good trade in the mid lane for Arya once again.
Yeah, both mids use their TP. Here's Lava. Pretty hard to kill this Jax with the Volibear.
Yeah, you can just use Counter-Strike to avoid the stun, and at that point, really what can you find?
So, lane state not the best for Lakai, but Sejuani is on the bottom side of the map. Lava picks up at least one Void Grub. Can probably do all three if he wants to. DFM have been prioritizing Dragons all playoffs, and we'll continue doing that.
Looks like it will be theirs. It's going to be traded, though. DFM, I mean, the last series, Dragon win conditions were really the name of the game. You saw on the graphic, I think it was 22.5 minutes and then 23 minutes in their 2 games. And
yeah. Again, with the Smolder, you do want to pick up one of these first 3 dragons. That helps you out so much. We'll see if J-Team can manage to do it.
It does feel hard.
Yeah, it's going to have to be... I mean, they need to find some pick right around a dragon fight, but it's just Minji who can set that up.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Lava can get onto the Senate, especially if her flash is down. Is going to be back up before he's anywhere near bot, I would think. He's in the neighborhood now, but with his red buff coming up, I don't see him hanging around down here very long. And I don't think you want to just be trading farm on Volibear in these matchups.
Now, maybe you could argue that lowering the volatility early is okay because you have the Smolder.
Yeah, valid. And if he's going to get level 6 first, he still has plenty of opportunity to impact early game.
He's going to get stunned up. Has to pop that World Ender to try and get himself out. But still, no flash available. It's going to be, no ult available, but will match flashes there. Lakai being aware of what was likely coming from that Arctic Assault.
Yeah, that's going to help the Jax out. In the lane, Rayfark actually drops a pink ward during that fight. Maybe hoping Lakai clicks on it.
Possibly.
So much trading.
I think he was probably meaning to press his elixir.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was thinking what he could have misclicked. But yeah, elixir makes a lot of sense. Actually stealing the red after seeing Sejuani on the top side. Nice from Lava. Can probably take the Krugs too if he wants to. Is level 6, but HP bars are pretty high on the side of DFM. And no ult on the Tahm Kench, which would make dives a lot easier.
Yeah, DFM aren't aware. They should be aware when Steel figures out that his red buff is in there.
Too.
Yeah, this is going to be 4v3. I'm not too sure who I favor. J-Team, they're looking for the dive. Steel does quickly turn around. He realizes what's coming. Tower's going to be disabled. Through comes Marmon. Udapon's dodging out of everything, but not enough. As Minji does get to the play first. Finds that first kill. Charm lands as well as Harp. Takes the hook he never wanted. And a double kill now. We've got another Ari getting on the board nice and early.
Yeah, that is massive for Minji. He's going to help him out a lot in this mid game just to pick up 2 kills there. Arya ends up running down and getting nothing but a wave. Ambitious hook from Harp, but well played from J-Team to punish that Senna flash being down. It was off the back of good trades in the 2v2 from J-Team. Senna W's already down, so that makes this dive a lot less scary. And DFM kite it out as well as they can. The tower is disabled though, and it makes these dives so easy. And yeah, very ambitious hook. Does get the Tahm into tower range for a moment at least, but doesn't get stunned in tower range, and Arya is very far away. Could have maybe looked for a Weaver's Wall, I guess.
Yeah, perhaps. I'm not sure, but...
Always risky though.
2-0 now is Minji here on the Ari. Bit of damage in the mid lane as there are 3 members of DFM, and so he's going to heal that up though.
Malignant's at, just over 8 minutes for Minji.
I've seen this one before.
Yeah. A lot more tools to handle the Ari on DFM than there were on Ground Zero. I mean, Nautilus Hook at the end of the day will... Or Nautilus Ulti, as the hook barely misses Chi-Chi.
Yeah, and Chi-Chi feels safe now. Does have both of his sons still.
He's going to appreciate Nautilus, to wail on for a bit.
Yeah, even getting another nice double Q. Lalva's here. There's no sums available for Harp. He's going to use that depth charge, but he might just be going down. No CC coming through, but there comes the stun out of this Tahm Kench's Tongue Lash. Through will come Smolder Old, and one more Q will do it, and one more Q. It is Chi-Chi now on the board. Nice and early here on the Smolder. Abyssal Voyage comes through. Chi-Chi tanks the tower, though. Nice W from Udapon. He has his cleanse. He's going to use that. Lalva's coming in. He does have the flash, but he's not going to use that. Q comes through, but he's used his flash well too late. And Lalva as well, going for a second dive. Arya now is here on the Talia. But what can he find? It doesn't seem like anything really.
Yeah, Minji's here to match. Well played from J-Team. Again, punishing the spot lane of DFM, who have been trading very hard with J-Team's bot lane, but not getting anything out of it. It's actually J-Team's bot lane who have been blowing sums in the 2v2. And yeah, they're getting punished on the Senna. Nautilus. big kill onto Chi-Chi there as well is going to accelerate his Spear of Shojin.
Yeah, it's got his Essence Reaver now, and that's this point it feels all so good as Smolder, as you never have to worry really about mana issues ever again for the rest of this game, and that's kind of what Smolder struggles with the most early game. Nice cancel on that Leap Strike. But
yeah, and your damage isn't amazing at this point, right? But it's not as atrocious as it is in the early game. Once you do get the Essence Reaver. Nice knock-up, but Enso predicts the Nautilus hook and knocks him up there, and I thought without Tahm Kenshul, they might not be able to get this kill, but they just barely get it with the Smolder ulti and a Q. And then Yutapon hangs around for too long, maybe, and Chi-Chi does end up blowing his flash, so does Lava, but Yutapon loses both his sums and goes down still.
Giving a trade you favor for J-Team, and now they're 4-0 up. They're up 1k gold, and they're trying to contest this dragon.
Yeah.
DVMR here to answer.
Looking at the items, you'd have to think it would be theirs. No TP advantage for either side, so in the straight up 4v4, it should just be J-Team favored. Just with how strong Minji is on this Ahri, and you can't even land some Miracle Sejuani ult up against the Tahm Kench to hope to get this dragon, so I expect DFM to just not fight it if J-Team are hitting it. Maybe a steal attempt?
Yeah, possibly. Sejuani can blast cone in, and then Arctic is sold out, has flash available. Of course, Smite is available as well. They're coming in from the bottom side. I don't think they're willing to just let this one go over. 2k is now the health, and just dodged out of that Arctic Assault did steal. But now the side with the Smolder has secured themselves one dragon early on in the game, and they've got themselves a Smolder that's ahead, and an Ahri that's very ahead. J-Team, I mean, we didn't expect it to look like this, but it certainly is. They're looking good.
Yeah, Chi-Chi especially has been looking mechanically very crisp on the Smolder. He's dodging out of a lot of Senna Qs and Nautilus hooks. So, you know, a player we criticized in their past series. Looking good. And on a champ, he's going to be able to carry the game.
Oh, Mom, wake up. It's time to dive bot again.
Yeah, Steel is actually just here with Arya.
Yeah.
Really good awareness from him, as I don't think Lava actually walked over any wards to get here. He just kind of had an idea that maybe his Talia would be in trouble. Meanwhile, Chi-Chi looking perfectly fine in the 2v1 mid.
104 stacks.
And because he's gotten so much time just sitting here, he's level 8 on the Smolder.
You know my pet peeve when I play Smolder?
Yeah.
My support last hitting the minions. Like, I know they have to.
Yeah, they do for their...
Like, I get my minion wave nice and peppered for a multi-Q.
Yeah,
and then they just gobble up one of the minions.
Yeah, take the melee ones instead, just because it's more difficult to get
them lined up.
Yeah, for multiple.
Depends what items you have. At Essence Reaver, it's fairly easy, but it takes a bit of time.
Yeah, I missed the W max.
Not max, 3 points.
Oh, 3 point, yeah. Because once you got Essence Reaver in your second evolve, you could just one-shot the whole wave with WQ. Maybe you needed a little more than Essence Reaver.
Yeah, you do just one-shot the back wave with the Spear Shojin. As the build currently stands.
Kai just takes Krugs.
Yeah, he's finding something for himself. Ray Farkey actually having a pretty good time up in the top lane. He's got himself 2 tower plates just solo. So Lakai, I mean, we said it, he is a bit of a weaker laner. He definitely comes into his own in team fights though, and so the fact that he's only gone down the 2 plates, he is even in CS, he's still going to be pretty strong on this Aatrox. He's going for, however, the Sundered Sky build, which
not as
we
strong
haven't
in team
liked
fights.
as much.
Yeah. It's going to be better in the 1v1, and I think we do usually see this up against the Jax.
Yeah.
So it's probably just a matchup thing.
I think it's more about the Talia, because it's very hard to navigate the fights as Aatrox into a Talia, and if you get stunned up as the lethality Aatrox, you can just get taken out very, very quickly.
Yeah, Sejuani Nautilus don't make it easy for you either.
Yeah.
So maybe just looking for a more traditional frontliner from the Aatrox, and kind of makes sense with a Smolder on your team. All you need is bodies in front of him, really. Especially once he gets his stacks, which he should be well on track to doing, as Yutapon only has 50 stacks at 15 minutes on the Senna.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with Senna stack timings, but that doesn't feel like a lot.
No, it's not a lot, but...
Steel getting aggressive.
Getting dove, through will come Mum. Lava's going to get stunned up, still has that Stormcaller available to himself, and so does tank up that hook coming out there of Enso, and J-Team are going to actually limp away. They don't have their Ari, which is where most of their strength is, and it may be just that this Rift Herald is given over. Ray Farkey on the bottom side, though, he's getting extremely low, and Minji didn't even have to pop that Spirit Rush. J-Team, if they want to commit this Ari to being here, they certainly can. Teleport available. Spirit Rush actually was used by Minji. He doesn't have it in this fight, but it's going to be a 4v5 for now. Ray Farkey did get the recall off. He got his health back, and all of a sudden, Lalva's very, very low. Has to pop that Stormcaller. Enso as well, going to get hooked up, and he's not going to be able to devour that Volley Bear. And all of a sudden, DFM have come alive. They're in the team fights. We've praised their team fighting. Seismic Shove does go wide, and Ray Farkey, though, he is full health in this front line. Minji still remains with a lot of health left. Chi-Chi just walks in to one of those Qs from Aria and will be taken out, and all of a sudden, it's a 3-for-0. DFM answering back.
Yeah, it looked like such a good start to the fight from J-Team. Minji gets his TP off pretty early in that engage, and then Lava manages to burn both Sums out of Udapon and a flash out of Steel, just running at them. DFM just turn it around. Yeah, I'm not even that sure what went wrong.
Well, no ult on Minji certainly doesn't help, and Lava just gets eliminated after flashing in. Nice Seismic Shove, of course, does connect. And
so it must have been a spectator bug, that Nautilus ult. It must have been a spectator bug, because Ari ult is definitely down here, otherwise it would be used, and Ray Farkey just runs through this team fight by the time he gets here. Nice Weaver's Wall. Everyone does dodge out of the shove, but I think Chi-Chi probably recognizing he's just dead here anyway.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Smolder is stronger than perhaps Smolder should be at this point of the game, but you're still just
weak,
a weak champ.
Yeah, and I mean, J-Team did opt into that fight, right, with the Smolder, who kind of wants a slower paced game.
Yeah, absolutely. Team fights can be beneficial, but you definitely don't want to be losing them. Like, just long, extended 0-for-0 team fights feel really nice if you're Smolder.
Yeah.
But flashing in that hard, you have to play them slow. You want to be continuing to get those stacks and avoiding death, but unfortunately it was 3 found. DFM now, they do have a gold lead for themselves.
Yeah,
it is J-Team, however, starting up this Dragon. Minji will have ults this time. Is still 2-0 on this Ari, very, very strong. Looking like he's going to go for the Leandri, that's his second item in this game. Actually gets hooked up, he's going to get rooted, he's going to get CC'd. Nice devour coming out of Enso, does save his mid laner, but will pay the price himself. It's going to be Minji though getting 1 kill. Lava actually taking it for himself, and now all of a sudden, DFM won the last fight, but Minji's unleashed. Minji's found another one. Another Spirit Rush coming through. It's going to be Aria flashing away. Charm does go wide. But J-Team still, that's up 2-1 in the team fight, and now they're turning attention back towards this Dragon. With Ray Farkey and Steel dead, it's almost a done deal.
Yeah, Enso going down for his mid laner there, definitely worthwhile with how good of a fight Minji had, and Chi-Chi no slouch either, landing a lot of damage in that fight, does have his second evolve.
Yeah, 187 stacks, well ahead of schedule here.
Yeah, this is a very accelerated Smolder. Pretty much whatever happens this game, he will be getting to his stacks. And it looks a bit scary here because Steel stuns up Enso with his Sejuani ulti as Minji gets hooked. So it looked like they were able to going to be able to knock him down. And if that Talia shove had come through, maybe, but Enso barely gets out of the stun in time to gobble up the mid laner, and then Minji's able to run away with this fight.
Yeah, Harp just in range there to land that dredge line onto the tower, get himself out, but I mean,
and
it's back and forward.
Lakai is doubling back for more lethality items, maybe? What does this build into? The Brutalizer. It's not Cyril. He wouldn't be going Cyril.
Edge of Night? Yeah, Edge of Night, I guess.
That's a Dirk, isn't it?
Maybe it is.
I think it's a Dirk item.
Yeah, you might be right.
We'll see. It should be interesting. Leandri's on the Ari makes a lot of sense just looking at this comp from DFM. Getting Leandri's value on every champ but Senna.
I guess it is just Shirelda's second. Can't think of what else it would be.
Yeah, they are very tanky. I would have liked to see a Black Cleaver maybe, though.
Can you imagine if he goes like Voltaic Cyclo Sword? That'd be funny.
Yeah, that'd be fun. The Earth Aatrox build.
Is it actually?
Yeah. Oh, that's what my friends build in Earth anyway. Crit Aatrox. We don't win many games. DFM, you can tell that DFM realize they have to turn up the pace of this game, and they have to do it urgently because, I mean, it might already be too late.
Yeah, 212 stacks.
Chi-Chi, yeah, impressive with the stacks on Smolder this game.
I think only Betty doing better. Maybe there was a game where Chris Carter did as well, but...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do sometimes see people getting their stacks very late on the Smolder, but yeah, able to, in a very action-packed game, get plenty of stacks.
Yeah, for sure.
And
looking good for J-Team. I mean, DFM, though, they're still not without hope. Of course, they are very good at team fighting, as we saw them able to pick up that win earlier. Finding a lot of damage onto Lalva again at this bot lane tower. It seems to be what they're truly focusing on. No Dragon for 3 more minutes. Baron is live, but everyone down on the bot side. No real threat of that happening anytime soon. Harp does go wide on his Q, but it's going to be the Glacial Prison coming out of Steel that does connect. Everything is going to be available. Minji teleports in. Not really going to find anything. Does fish for that charm, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised J-Team aren't willing to give up this turret. I guess there's no reason to if they can defend it, but if you can give up this turret and Chi-Chi gets to his stack safely because of it, it's always going to be worth it. He's got them.
Yeah, he's got the stacks.
Ray Farkey will tell his team the news, walking back, missing 30% of his HP.
Oh, Lava, he's going to have to get devoured up here in the bot side.
Arya.
Lakai, he's doing a lot of damage. Minji's found his way onto this Talia. No Unraveled Earth available, and through will come this teleport from Ray Farkey. Mum does go wide, and Minji's not going to connect, but the Leandri burn is going to be enough. Chi-Chi's at the team fight now, has the stacks, but it's 3v4. Do J-Team have enough there to find an angle on this fight? At least the shutdown coming through. Minji picking that one up onto Arya.
Yeah, pretty puzzling from J-Team to fight without your win condition there, but Arya absolutely put the moves on Lakai and Minji, that fight. Does go down in the end, but he just takes so many resources to take down. Minji actually went for a flash charm on him and missed, and every other spell went wide on him too. Yeah, it looks like Lakai is just going to kill this Talia, honestly. Minji stunned by Nautilus, so not able to immediately follow up, and then this flash charm is disastrous for Minji.
Yeah.
And Udapon actually flashes in front of Arya to try block the charm. And just puzzling to fight without your Smolder. You've gotten your stacks now. So any fight around the Smolder is going to look a lot better.
Hook lands here from Hark. This time Smolder will be present. No seismic shove to land onto Chi-Chi. Glacial Prison won't either, but Enzo's very, very low on that front line. Is going to be able to walk himself out. Limp maybe is the correct word as a double kill comes through. Smolder be executed now. Minji gone forward. Harp's going to be able to survive, but this is very, very likely going to be the Baron going down. Enzo likely to go bot, maybe answer this Jax for a little bit. Ray Farkey is going to find himself an inner tower, which of course does feel good. It's a lot of gold, but Baron, what can J-Team get done with it?
Yeah, and it's starting to look like this Tahm Kench pick is just an anathema to DFM because they had so much trouble in their first game against Frank, against this Tahm Kench pick as well. It seems like the type of champs they like to draft suffer against this Tahm because they have to use all their engage onto the Tahm Kench, which when the enemy team has an Arya and a Smolder, it's really difficult to navigate the fight after you've used Sejuani ult and Nautilus ult onto a Tahm.
Profane Hydra, of course.
Yeah.
We are so stupid.
Well, I just didn't think he'd go for it as second item, yeah. Maybe
We've seen it occasionally.
Yeah, maybe he just gets to sit under his tower and wave clear. I thought he'd just go for tanky stuff, just protect his Smolder now.
Yeah, Volibear certainly has gone tanky this game as Cloud Dragon number 3 is going to be spawning for J-Team. If DFM get it, it will be their second and make this Dragon win condition feel a whole lot less likely. DFM certainly aren't just going to lay over and give it. Harp on a flank, Ray Farkey marking Lakai. Dragon now down to 3 KHP. Is still going to find a way in. Glacial Prison comes out. Once again, it is onto Enzo. He gets seismic shove, gets a great health out though. Gets a big shield. Is he going to survive? He's on the same amount of health as last time, and he is. Shut down one. It's going to be Smolder. That's a double now. Forward will go the entire side here of J-Team. Udapon on 1 HP. Does go down to Minji, and now it's 1v5. Arya, you can try as you may, but a triple kill comes through, and J-Team reigning supreme.
Yeah, and you have to imagine J-Team are just going to clean up this game now. As you can see, Chi-Chi is online on the Smolder, and barring any miracle team fights like DFM did manage to pull off in Game 2 in their previous series, they did manage to beat a Smolder, but they did have a lead in that game by the time the Smolder got the stacks. This time they were behind and down on Dragons too. And again, you have to engage onto this Tahm Kench, who went for, I can't remember the support item, but it's the old Crown of the Shattered Queen. Makes him so difficult to kill, and Enso's living on a sliver of HP both fights. And there is no living on a sliver of HP against the Smolder. DFM lose Ray Farkey, and rest of the team collapses too.
Execute after execute.
Oh, still Arya, even from the grave, always landing these nice Talia shoves.
You're not happy, Arya there on your screen. But this is a very, very strong top side and 80 carry from J-Team. Volibear just building full tank. Lalva doesn't care about doing damage. He's got enough of it on the rest of his teammates, and so doing a good job, taking up some damage. Enso very much the same. Now, inner tower number 2 up on the top side, looking like it's going to be going down. Baron's still available for just 15 more seconds.
Yeah.
Arya, side Michelle into Lalva. They do get the root as well, but there's not really any follow-up. There's just too much damage everywhere else. Lakai even going to take himself a tower 2. End of the Baron power play. It's 7,100 gold in favor of J-Team, which is, of course, their entire lead.
Yeah, that might be our biggest Baron power play ever. I think they took at least 3 turrets, all inner, all tier 2 turrets, and probably a couple tier 1s too, and an ace, yeah. J-Team just getting everything during this Baron.
Something about cake and eating.
Yeah.
J-Team, though. God damn, we didn't expect this out of them.
Yeah.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, especially Chi-Chi. Nice to see him on form.
Yeah.
Minji, too.
Having a good game for himself, for
yeah.
sure.
I like his build.
Kai's suffering a little bit in the lane, but now he's just the 3 items. Has that Sundered Sky for a little bit more survivability, and now he's just going the normal lethality items, as you have come to expect from the Aatrox. This is going to be Edge of Night, second item here.
Yeah, and
DFM, they're trying to put up a defense.
Yeah.
And there is enough wave clear for now, but I mean, you've got 2 minutes until this Air Dragon is up. J-Team can look for that soul, or they could even just let the dragon go and pick themselves up a Baron. Possibly look to end the game. Charm lands from Minji. Harp going to lose about a third of his HP.
Yutapon loses half somewhere in the exchange. And, I mean, 320 stacks almost for the Smolder. Chi-Chi stacking extremely well this game. And if you're J-Team, as boring as it is, you're not in a rush to end this game. You have 3 dragons with your soul coming up in a minute. No, I've never seen a Smolder really fall off in the late game. I don't think that's a thing. So you're only getting stronger by just clearing these waves, taking enemy jungle, and picking up objectives. So you can only really lose if you overextend trying to siege tier 3s.
Level 17 on Lakai now. Highest level on the Rift.
Yeah, very fed.
Yeah.
Get him back and...
Well, you just have so many problems to worry about if you're DFM.
Yeah. You're
worried about Minji, the 5-1 3-item Ari. You're worried about Lakai, the 2-0 3-item and a half Aatrox.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there is just a Smolder who's now got a Seeker's Arm Guard and is not really looking like there's any way to truly take him out. Threats were already low onto Smolder this game, and
yeah,
those became a whole lot lower.
I love that Minji didn't go for Zhonya's this game, which might be tempting against a Nautilus and a Sejuani, but he recognizes that Smolder is the target in these fights. He's very rarely going to be the person focused down in these team fights, and if he is, he's got a Tahm Kench as well, so nice itemization from Minji to just go full damage.
Okay, Baron spawning. DFM are on the wrong side of the map, but they might just run into an Aatrox that they can look for. They get the Edge of Night shield away. How do you play these team fights? Arya might have to find the most ridiculous Weaver's Wall of all time to split up the fight. Lalva is going to get taken out pretty low, but he's still got that ult available, and Harp is just eliminated from the fight. In will come Ray Farkey, teleporting into the middle of this one, but Chi-Chi remains untouched, and Chi-Chi gets his first execute of the fight. Weaver's Wall is going to be used to run away. Minji might go down to Ray Farkey, but it's going to be Chi-Chi who flashes forward and secures the kill for himself, and now Dragon Soul on the menu, Baron on the menu, everything on the menu. Lalva, he's walking back and forward.
Yeah, Yutapon manages to do a lot of damage on this Senna. As he usually does, he's quite good at this champion. Just not enough. Never going to be matching the damage out of this Ahri and Smolder at this point. Chi-Chi not even needing a 4th damage item, just is building towards his Zhonya's. We'll see if he just keeps the Seekers or if he upgrades that. Usually the games end before we get to see a 4th item out of Smolder.
Yeah, this one might have a little bit more in the tank though. We're at 31 minutes now. Baron number 2 going to be taken here by J-Team, and they truly are on the cusp of just winning. If they win one more clean fight, then it will just be theirs to claim. Lalba, patient jungler, waiting for Minji to respawn to make sure there's 5 Baron buffs, and makes it easier to 1-3-1 with this Baron. Try and get your minion waves synced. It's something that the higher tier teams in the PCS are very good at.
Yeah.
They get the Baron, they make sure all waves are hitting into the tower at the same time, and so you are just going to get one of them because you don't have the wave clear to clear all 3.
Yeah, you have to commit multiple members to stop these Baron waves. Nothing in the way of wave clear really for DFM. Even Talia isn't super comfortable walking up to waves to clear them. You know, in the face of a siege from an Ahri and a Smolder.
360 stacks now.
Yeah, he's massive. Okay, he is just keeping the Seekers until he uses it and then upgrades it to his Zhonya's.
Yeah, now waves are not synced. They're very far from being synced, and so this push for at least now, DFM should be okay to thwart off, unless there's just a tower dive come through.
Yeah.
Which of course is always very possible. In fact, maybe it's DFM starting up. Their final Lalba, he's going to get devoured, and now all of a sudden he's no longer under any threat. Enzo running forward. There goes, you see it, Juani. Legendary now is J-Team's Smolder. Lakai, he's going to pick himself up another one onto his adversary up in the top lane. One more kill. It's going to be Minji's to claim. And now Arya, he gets that Seraph shield, but he is under a whole hell of a lot of trouble. Minji, though, he's getting very, very low. Dawning Shadow coming out of Yutapon on the center is going to chunk his health quite substantially. Weaver's Wall coming through. Arya's doing his best to put on some form of defense, and nearly Yutapon able to take out Chi-Chi, but the execute is just too strong. In will come this teleport, securing that this minion wave cannot be destroyed, and Arya is going to go down just like his Nexus. Game number 1 in dominant fashion as J-Team leads the series.
And I was not expecting that out of J-Team at all. That is a